The Mafia, a word that conjures images of shadowy figures, secret meetings, and ruthless violence. It is a name that strikes fear into the hearts of many, a symbol of organized crime that has left an indelible mark on history. For centuries, this clandestine organization has held a grip on Italy, its tendrils reaching into every corner of society. From politics to business, the Mafia's influence has been pervasive and insidious, shaping the very fabric of Italian life. But how did this powerful entity come to be? What were the circumstances that led to its formation, and how did it grow to become such a formidable force? What were the events that shaped its rise and fall? From its early beginnings to its peak of power, the Mafia's journey is a complex and fascinating tale. This is the story of the Italian Mafia, a journey through its murky origins, its reign of terror, and its enduring legacy. We will explore the key moments that defined its history and the figures who played pivotal roles in its development. We will delve into the lives of infamous bosses, the brutal tactics employed, and the relentless fight against this criminal underworld. These men, often shrouded in myth and legend, orchestrated some of the most notorious crimes in history. It is a story not just of violence and corruption, but also of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of oppression. The Mafia's reign has been met with resistance from brave individuals and communities determined to stand against its tyranny. By understanding the Mafia's past, we can better grasp its present and work towards a future free from its grasp. The lessons learned from this dark chapter in history are crucial in the ongoing battle against organized crime. To understand the Mafia, we must travel back in time to the 19th century Sicily. This island, blessed with beauty but plagued by poverty and instability, became the breeding ground for organized crime. Sicily was a land divided, ruled by powerful landowners and plagued by banditry. In this chaotic environment, groups of men, often former bandits, saw an opportunity. They offered protection to landowners in exchange for money, essentially becoming private armies. These groups, bound by oaths of silence and loyalty, became known as the Mafia. They thrived in the shadows, exploiting the weak and corrupting those in power. Their code of silence, known as omertà, ensured their survival, making witnesses afraid to speak out. As the Mafia gained power, it expanded its operations beyond simple extortion. The turn of the 20th century saw them infiltrating local governments, controlling elections, and enriching themselves through illegal activities. Rival Mafia families, or kosher, emerged, each vying for control of territory and resources. Bloody conflicts erupted, leaving a trail of victims in their wake. These wars for dominance solidified the Mafia's grip on Sicily, instilling fear and obedience among the population. The rise of fascism in Italy during the 1920s provided a temporary setback. Mussolini, determined to consolidate his power, cracked down on the Mafia, imprisoning many of its members. However, this proved to be a temporary setback. The seeds of organized crime had been sown, and they would re-emerge with a vengeance. The post-World War II era saw the Mafia rise to new heights of power and influence. Names like Lucky Luciano, Carlo Gambino, and Tommaso Buscetta became synonymous with organized crime, both in Italy and the United States. These godfathers were ruthless and cunning, building vast criminal empires that spanned continents. They controlled drug trafficking, gambling, and labor racketeering, amassing immense wealth and power. Their opulent lifestyles and displays of power only served to reinforce their mystique and grip on society. However, their reign would not last forever. Internal rivalries, coupled with increasing pressure from law enforcement, would eventually lead to their downfall. Section 5. The Mafia's web from extortion to politics. The Mafia's influence extended far beyond the underworld. They infiltrated businesses, trade unions, and even government institutions, using intimidation and violence to get their way. Extortion, known as pizzo, became a fact of life for many businesses in Sicily. Refusal to pay meant risking your business and even your life. The Mafia's control over construction contracts and public works projects allowed them to skim off millions, enriching themselves at the expense of the public. Their reach even extended to politics, with corrupt officials turning a blind eye to their activities in exchange for bribes and favors. This insidious web of corruption eroded public trust and hampered economic development. Section 6. Cracks in the facade, the war against the mafia. The 1980s marked a turning point in the fight against the mafia. Outraged by the seemingly endless cycle of violence and corruption, a courageous group of judges, prosecutors, and police officers decided to fight back. Risking their lives and the safety of their families, they launched a series of unprecedented investigations and prosecutions. The Maxi trial of 1986 to 87, which saw hundreds of mafiosi convicted, dealt a major blow to the organization. Key to their success were the testimonies of former mafiosi turned informants, known as pentiti. These insiders provided invaluable information about the mafia's inner workings, breaking the code of silence that had protected them for so long. Section 7. Echoes of the past. The mafia's presence today. While significantly weakened, the mafia is far from vanquished. They have adapted to changing times, diversifying their activities and expanding their reach beyond Italy's borders. Drug trafficking remains a lucrative business, with the mafia playing a key role in international drug routes. They have also infiltrated legitimate businesses, using them to launder money and evade taxes. Cybercrime, human trafficking, and environmental crime are just some of the new frontiers where the mafia is seeking to profit. Their ability to exploit weaknesses in the globalized economy poses a significant challenge to law enforcement agencies worldwide. Section 8. Lessons learned: the cost of silence and complicity. The story of the mafia is not just a tale of crime and punishment, it is also a cautionary tale about the dangers of silence and complicity. For too long, the mafia thrived because ordinary people were too afraid to speak out, or because those in power turned a blind eye to their activities. It is a reminder that organized crime can only flourish when it has the tacit approval of society. The fight against the mafia is not just a matter for law enforcement, it requires a collective effort from all segments of society, including citizens, politicians, and businesses. Only by working together can we hope to create a society where organized crime can no longer take root. The history of the mafia is filled with stories of individuals who chose to stand up, despite the risks. Their bravery serves as a beacon of hope and a call to action. Community leaders, activists, and ordinary citizens have all played crucial roles in challenging the mafia's grip on society. Law enforcement agencies, working hand in hand with communities, have made significant strides in the fight against organized crime. Educational programs and awareness campaigns have been instrumental in informing the public about the dangers of the mafia and the importance of speaking out. By fostering a culture of transparency and courage, we can envision a future where the mafia no longer holds sway and our neighborhoods are safe for future generations. Section 9. The future of justice. Today, the battle against the mafia continues with renewed vigor. Law enforcement agencies are employing new technologies and innovative strategies to combat their evolving tactics. International cooperation is crucial as mafia groups operate across borders, exploiting differences in legal systems and regulations. Asset forfeiture, witness protection programs, and stricter anti-money laundering regulations are just some of the powerful tools being used to dismantle their criminal networks. However, the fight is far from over and remains a significant challenge. As long as poverty, inequality, and corruption persist, the mafia will continue to find fertile ground to exploit and thrive. Section 10. Conclusion: the enduring legacy. The story of the Italian Mafia is a long and complex one, filled with violence, corruption, and tragedy. From its early beginnings in the 19th century, the Mafia has woven itself into the fabric of Italian society, influencing politics, business, and culture. Its reach extended far beyond Italy, impacting communities around the world. It is a story that continues to this day as law enforcement agencies around the world work tirelessly to bring these criminal organizations to justice. The battle against the mafia is relentless, involving countless hours of investigation, undercover operations, and international cooperation. Despite numerous victories, the fight is far from over. The mafia's legacy is a dark one, but it is also a reminder of the importance of courage, resilience, and the pursuit of justice. Many brave individuals have stood up against the mafia, risking their lives to expose the truth and protect their communities. Their stories of bravery and sacrifice inspire us to continue the fight. by understanding the factors that allowed the mafia to rise to power, we can work to prevent such criminal organizations from taking root in the future. Economic hardship, political instability, and social inequality are some of the conditions that have historically allowed the mafia to thrive. Addressing these issues is crucial in the fight against organized crime. The fight against organized crime is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, persistence, and a long-term commitment from everyone involved. This ongoing struggle demands continuous vigilance and adaptation to new challenges as criminal organizations evolve. It requires a sustained effort from all segments of society, working together to create a world where the rule of law prevails and justice is served. Governments, law enforcement, communities, and individuals must unite in this common cause, ensuring that future generations can live in a safer, more just world.